All right, you guys, so we've got a Chevy 350 in-house today, built by Martin Performance, and I think it's about to have to turn into some effing performance, because after they got this thing assembled and in the car, it started dumping coolant out of the head gaskets. So either the heads weren't blocked properly or machined properly, or the deck wasn't machined properly, and they used MLS head gaskets, so those two combined means a whole lot of leaking. So what we gotta do is pull this thing apart today, get the heads off, double check the block surface, double check the head surface, make sure everything's okay and these heads aren't warped, get new gaskets put back on this thing and reassembled so the customer can get back on the road. So watch as we tear this motor down and get it ready to rock for our customer to do more burnouts. All right, before we pop these valve covers off, it's time to give this thing a blow job. That's why my wife loves me. Fast fingers. Down because they're retarded. What the gaskets were cut. Port matched. It was not port matched. See this, guys? That is not port matching. That is 1/8 of an inch away from port matching. You're a little shy from the port match. They did clean up the runners. I mean, don't get me wrong. They cleaned them. But that is not a port match. Ooh. What in the fucking smoochie?
God.
Like, what are you running in this thing, bud? Oh my God, haven't you heard of that new gel coolant? What's crazy is that it's all settling on this head. There's none in any other port. You guys need a pit crew team? Okay. I'll get your motor built in 5 minutes. All right.
Do what you do, get down on the floor, shake your body so nice. Everybody just get down in the place to be. Forget your cares at the door, most definitely. That's right, that's right, yeah. Get it right, all night. Do what you do, get down on the floor, shake your body so nice. Everybody just get down in the place to be. Forget your cares at the door, most definitely. That's right, that's right, yeah. Get it right, all night. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Get it right. All night. Do what you do. Get down on the floor. Shake your body so nice. Everybody just get down in the.
That's the problem right there. Put grease on head bolts that need to have thread sealant. And so these head bolts go through coolant passages on the block, and you can see that the bolt is greased, but it does not have any thread sealant. But it did have thread sealant at one time, but they greased over the top of it. And so the thread sealant was there. They took the head bolt out. When they reassembled the motor, they greased the head bolt for torque, but they did not thread seal the actual threads. So how you do these lower head bolts is you grease the upper pan portion so you can get good torque load slip on the top of the head, but then you use thread sealant on the threads, and that will act as your torque slip on the threads itself, so then you don't get seal leaks like this does. Standard size. These pistons got STDs. Standard. Not overboard. We don't like it unless it's just right. Not too big, not too skinny. We're pretty standard around here. lube on the fan head. And then you put thread sealant in the bypass holes.
Okay, sounds good.
I need to cut a hole in that shit. As soon as I cut a hole.
For sure.
Thread sealant's going to go on the threads. Torque lube goes on the fan head. No leaks. Don't get confused because they're both white.
Okay, sounds good. I'm just asking.
Thread sealant, torque lube. Thread sealant, torque lube. That's how you don't make a leak in a Chevy 350 with pass-through head bolts. 3-hour tear down and rebuild. You want your motor back in your race car today?
That's what you're gonna get today. When you come to Custom F and Customs and pay.
Give me that bread, give me that money. I don't like it unless it's blue, honey. That's $100 bills. I make bands. That's right, motherfucker. I'm talking about swinging towns in my lands. Green trees, what you know, smoking blunts on the go. Green trees, what you know, smoking blunts on the go. Heads are torqued with our handy dandy 3/8 drive snap-on impact torque driver remover tool. If you guys don't know about it, if you just go 1/2 a ugga dugga, that's all you need to rip. All right, I can't keep a straight face. I'm just bullshitting with you. So I just ran him down a little bit with this guy, but I still got to go through the whole torque sequence. Don't ever use a fucking impact gun to think that your torque is actually correct. I know assholes that are like, my impact gun puts out 86 foot-pounds. I know exactly what it does. Get a fucking torque wrench, quit being a dumbass. So I cross torque. I always torque 40, 40, 60, 60, so you put even load on the block. Gotcha. Even load. that one, these two, that one, and this one. Because if you look at the lifters, they're the only ones that are all the way collapsed. Okay? So I can set my preload on all the ones the lifters were all the way down. Then I'll roll the motor over and all the other ones will get set. So what you do to set these things is make sure all your lifters are down. Take them, go just till they touch. Touch, 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 touch. Done? Yeah. Okay. You take a ratchet.
Okay. Have a great day.
Clock it at your face. Or at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Roll until 9 o'clock. 3/4 of a turn.
Yes.
I'm not scared to put white stuff on my fingers. About your nut, I just don't mind a little truffle butter. Truffle butter on the finger.
I just wonder if we have the same definition of truffle butter.
Truffle butter is good use.
When you go back and forth.
When you go back and forth.
Ford antifreeze.
Those are for Rick's BMW. Get better vehicles.
Well, that's what it looks like going from Martin's high performance to effing high performance in just under 3 hours. We got the heads torn off, found out what was going on. The deck and the heads were in perfect shape, but they missed one step. They didn't put thread sealant on the lower bolts for the heads, and that's actually where it was leaking from, was from the head bolts. And so all these have blind head bolts that go right into the coolant passages, so you have to make sure that you use thread sealant on the pass-through head bolts. So we tore it all down, got everything cleaned up, and here we are, back together, ready for our customer to go ripping again in just under 3 hours. I'm Rick Wallen, this is Custom F&Customs. Till the next motor build, stay tuned.